For the next 100 days, I'll be surviving on this island in hardcore Minecraft, with the only rule being that I cannot go to any other pieces of land. Can I survive 100 days? Let's find out. So here we are on the survival island. Now, first things first, I see we have two different types of trees. We also got some cows, some chickens, and a sheep over there. And we also have a shipwreck. Now, usually everybody punches trees and stuff to start off, but nope, I'm going for the shipwreck first. I'm going to change it up a little bit for this video, just because this shipwreck could have some iron and things like that in it, which would be very useful. What do we have in here? Okay, we got a bunch of paper and a buried treasure map. And in this chest, we have wheat. What about in this chest over here? There we go. We got some iron, some lapis, an emerald, and I got to get out of here before I start drowning. And now that I got all of this stuff, I'm going to now punch myself a tree. Now, I do have to make sure to collect all of these saplings and replant them because I basically only have these trees on the island. If I run out, then I basically have no wood. Now, really quickly, I think I'm going to make an iron pickaxe, an iron axe. I can also craft one more ingot, make myself a quick shield, and we'll go with the shovel. And now with this wheat, I'm going to actually quickly grab all of the cows on the island, and they are all going to go into this hole that I made. There we go. All of them are in there, and I might as well breed them as well. But down here, we do have some cobblestone, which I'm going to grab because I do want to make myself a stone hoe as well as a furnace because I definitely want to get a wheat farm started up as soon as possible. All right, there we go. There's a stone hoe, and I'll make 2 furnaces. At least there is a ton of grass on the island, so getting seeds should not be that difficult. I think 13 seeds should be good enough, and I'm thinking down here, I'm just going to put a very temporary wheat farm. Now, we do have 1 sheep on the island, but I want to see if there is another sheep somewhere else. And looking around here, it does not look like we have a second sheep, unfortunately. Maybe one will spawn later on, but for right now, I'm going to have to make sure to keep this sheep safe because right now, the sheep is the only way that I'm going to be able to get a bed. And speaking of bed, I do need to find myself some more iron, and there is some right here because I will need 2 more to make myself some shears. I kind of forgot about that with the original iron that I got, but you know what? It's okay because we have some right here, and I'm going to drown again if I am not careful. All right, there we go. I think that's all the iron, and I'll also grab some of this coal as well. Oh, and there's some more iron right here, and gotta quickly throw this in the furnace. There's the 2 pieces, and now sheep, you better give me 3 pieces of wool, and you only give me 1. Like, really? Come on, man. Come on, sheep. Please eat a piece of grass. I am begging you to eat a piece of grass right now so you can get your wool back. Like, whenever I don't need you to grow your wool back, you always eat grass immediately, but as soon as I need you to grow your wool back, you just stand there and you stare into the ocean for some reason. Like, please, do your job. Well, while this sheep refuses to go and eat himself some grass, I might as well hop into the ocean here and slaughter some fish. Oh, yes, the sheep grew back his wool. And there's 2 pieces. Okay, wonderful. Now I can sleep away the night and officially make it day 1. Now I'm quickly going to go ahead and chop down the rest of these trees just so I can get their saplings so I can spread it around everywhere. Ooh, and there's a spider right here. Please drop 2 pieces of string. And yes, you did. Okay, great. I do have a fishing rod now at least. And that'll really help me out with my food situation because having 10 fish and 5 bread will not last me a very long time. So what I'm going to do is spend the next probably 2 days or so fishing to get myself a good stockpile of food, and then I can focus on getting myself some armor and then maybe building myself an actual home. I am back from fishing. As you can see, I do have a bunch of fish, and I also got this insane fishing rod, and I also did spend a good amount of time just planting and chopping down trees. So as you can see, we have a ton of trees now, as well as a beehive, which will be really nice. Unfortunately, we only have 1 bee, so I'm hoping that a tree will pop up, spawning another beehive. But now that I got all this food, I'm thinking it is now time to go and get myself some armor. And I'm thinking of making a mine sort of into the corner right over here. So I'm just going to keep digging down, and hopefully I end up finding myself some coal as well as a bunch of iron to make myself a full set of iron armor, as well as some extra iron for some tools and maybe even some diamonds. And here is my first set of iron. Here's my second set of iron, third set of iron, and just like that, we found some diamonds. So how many do we got here? So So we have 2 right there, and we have 1 right here. So we at least got a pickaxe. Oh, we got another one hiding right here. So we got a pickaxe and a shovel, or a pickaxe and a sword. And of course, I'm gonna grab the iron left over here. And there's even more iron back here, and even some more iron hiding behind some copper. So I do think 51 iron and 5 diamonds is good enough. So I'm gonna head back to the surface, craft myself some armor and a diamond pickaxe, and then I'm going to get started on actually building a home. So in terms of materials to start building my house, I do have a little bit of them right here, as well as cooking up a bunch of cobblestone to make some stone, which I will turn into stone bricks. But that is not going to be enough, because I realize that I will need deep slate as well as some more stone brick. But not just that, I am going to need some spruce wood, and lucky I do have a shipwreck right next to me, but I don't think that's going to be enough either. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab a ton of stone and deep slate, and then hopefully find myself a couple shipwrecks so I can grab all of the spruce wood. While you watch me suffer breaking wood underwater, if you are enjoying the video so far, please be sure to like and subscribe. I am really close to 2,000 subscribers and would really like to hit it with this video. After grabbing all the wood, I realized that it might not be enough, so I went off exploring the waters to see if I can find any more shipwrecks. First, I found some underwater ruins that didn't really give me much. I then found a shipwreck and grabbed what little spruce wood it had and the items inside the chest before heading off once again to find another shipwreck with hopefully some more spruce wood. Eventually I found another one, but I was trolled as it ended up being dark oak instead of the spruce wood that I needed, so I continued and found a cool underwater ruin portal, and finally a third shipwreck with some more spruce and some loot for my troubles. So now that I got all the materials that I will need to build my house, I think it is time that I get started on finally building my house. So the house is mostly complete. I did run out of deep slate, so I'm going to have to go back into the mines to grab some more. And I also forgot to make the door onto the house, so that's definitely going to be a priority. But if I go back all the way here, you can see it start to come together. So yeah, I'm gonna go quickly grab myself some more deep slate and then finally finish everything off. And that should be the last finishing touches for the roof. And I just have to finish this last little bit here for the wall. And out here on the front, I can add myself a little bit of campfires, and then I can put these little posts in here. They can also add some lanterns, and now I can put out all these campfires, and it makes it look like it has a little bit of an overhang. And while I'm at it, I might as well add some more lanterns to the bottom. And for the front here, I'm gonna add some stairs going across, and then I can just fill this up with some stone brick. And I will need some more campfires for the front, so I'm gonna have to go and get myself some more coal. But before I do that, I did notice that this area is missing some trapdoors, and I might as well add a lantern and then do that for this side as well. And now that I got more deep slate, I can finally fill this in, and I can fill in this side as well. Now I'm just gonna add the pillars to the outside right here. And finally, the last thing for the exterior is to add a couple of plants on the outside. And all of this has used pretty much my entire supply of spruce wood, so I actually am a couple more trapdoors short than I thought I was going to be, because I still have this side right here to do. But now I think I can get started on the interior. And first things first, this grass floor is coming out, and I'm going to be replacing it with the tried and true method of some stripped birch logs. Now originally I was going to have a staircase going up all the way, but I did realize that it's not going to be enough space for me to do a bunch of stuff, so I'm instead going to add a ladder going up all the way to the top here. And up in here, I forgot to add myself some windows. And then over here can be another little storage room with a bunch of stuff stuff in it. And then if we keep going up here, this can be another little room where I'll probably end up putting my bed. So I'm going to quickly move everything from outside into here and then show you the final results of the house. So now if I walk in, you can see to the left, we got some storage. Then we walk through here, we got a nice table with the chest and some more storage and some furnaces back here. And then going upstairs, I decided to put my bedroom right over here. And then of course, there's a whole bunch of storage back here. And I made this look a little bit cluttered, like everybody just sort of like pushed a bunch of stuff into here and sort of left it. And then if you go all the way up here, this is where I will put an enchant table setup, but I don't really have that right now, so dirt is the placeholder. So the next thing I want to do is go fishing a little bit because I am down to 3 cooked salmon, and then figure out a spot where I want to add some animal pens because right now these cows are looking a little bit cramped in here. So I am back from fishing and I got a decent amount of food now, and I am thinking this area right here would be a great spot to put my animal pens. But in order to make my animal pens, I am going to need to chop down a lot of oak trees. Now to start off, I gotta fill in this entire area with some dirt just to make sure that it is level with everything else all around it, and then I can actually get started on making the actual pen. And pretty much I'm going to go for a design like this where there's going to be 2 barrels, some trapdoors, and some fences, and then we could have 2 barrels here, and then we could have maybe some fences going across like that, and then here we could just have a normal wood pillar and then another normal wood pillar, and then we can keep going by 4, maybe another wood pillar, and then we could have it sort of go this way. And then just on this side, we could have the pillars made out of the barrels. And then over here, we can just have a pillar made out of the barrels. And then same over here. And then I can just copy this side over here to this side. And then finally, just making sure to fill in the trapdoors on top of the fences. And lastly, I can just put some fence gates at the front. And I can also maybe throw some lanterns on top of here just to give a little bit of light. And now that is the cow pen complete. And now I'm thinking of maybe making a smaller pen over here for the chickens. But before I add the chicken coop in, I'm going to lead all of these cows to their new home because it is about time to get these guys in there. And there we go. Okay, everybody is in here. And for the chicken coop, I'm thinking of doing something pretty simple that's sort of still in the theme of the cow pen. So it's going to be very small, just like this. And I'm thinking maybe I could go up sort of like this across and then down, and then just replicate it on this side, and then use some of the leftover deep slate, and then go ahead and add some more trapdoors on top of the fences. I was also thinking of adding some trapdoors on the outside here as well. Now it's just grabbing all of the chickens that are around this island and leading them into the pen. Alrighty guys, there we go. So now that these 2 things are added, I think the next thing I'm going to do is actually add a proper farm, because right over here you can see this wheat farm has sort of served its purpose, and I'm thinking I could add maybe some wheat over here and some carrots as well. And for the farm, I don't want it to be sort of just in a straight line. I want it to have kind of an angle, so I'm going to use some path blocks here just to sort of create a small little path that sort of outlines where I want the walls of the farm to go. So I think a shape like that should work. And now it's sort of repeating the same process that I used for the cow pen. And now that the walls are done, it is time to actually add in the crops. Now I'm thinking we can sort of split it down the middle here. So the left side can maybe be wheat and the right side can maybe be carrots. Now that the field is in place and almost filled in, I think it looks great out front. So now the next thing I want to do is get myself some better armor and tools, because currently my axe and my shovel is broken, and it would be nice to get some enchanted diamond gear. So I'm going to go ahead back down into the mines and keep mining until I find a good amount of diamonds. Here are the first set of diamonds. Here's the second set of diamonds, third set of diamonds, and it looks like we have a trial chamber down here. That is actually going to be really amazing, but I'm not going to tackle that right now because I want to get myself some better stuff first. Group of diamonds number 4, group of diamonds number 5, group of diamonds number 6, and it looks like we have a zombie spawner which has some string and a music disc and another music disc, more string and some melon seeds, and holy zombies, and there's more diamonds up there. Now I don't actually have any torches, so I don't know if redstone torches are enough to stop the zombies from spawning, but I guess I'll find out. But here is group of diamonds number 5, I believe. And there's more diamonds over here. So this should be number 6, I think. And here's even more diamonds. And I have no idea what I'm at right now because I lost count. And even more diamonds. And even more diamonds. And we got even more diamonds here in an underwater cave. And I am back home with 56 diamonds and some other ores like gold and iron. So now I'm just gonna throw all of this stuff in the furnace and make myself an entire set of diamond tools. And I'll also make myself a full set of diamond armor. And now the last thing is making myself an enchant table. Now I just gotta go and get myself all the bookshelves I need for a level 30 enchant. And then hopefully I end up getting something like silk touch and fortune and maybe some sharpness and protection. So it turns out I just perfectly had enough cows to get a full level 30 enchant table. And if I put a pickaxe in, what do we have here? So for level 30, we have efficiency 3. For level 16, we have Silk Touch, and level 4 is Efficiency 1. I think I'm going to go for the Silk Touch just because it would be nice to have. And let's see what else I can get on a pickaxe. So this one's Efficiency 4. What about a sword? Sharpness 3. And I'm assuming the axe and the shovel will both be Efficiency 4. Yes, they are. I'm going to enchant this pickaxe here, give it Efficiency 4, and it also has Silk Touch. Okay, well, that's very interesting. And the sword here is Fire Aspect 2, and I think I'm actually going to go for that, and it just has Fire Aspect 2. So the next enchant is Unbreaking 3, and I think I'm just gonna craft myself another pickaxe, get back up to 30 levels, and then just enchant that, and then probably combine it with my broken pickaxe to make maybe an E4 Silk Touch Unbreaking 3. Now the best way to get some easy XP, I think, is to go ahead and go to the Nether and basically mine a bunch of quartz. Now we seem to have arrived in a warped forest. Okay, that's interesting. This is not really the place I wanted to be at because I don't think there's a lot of quartz here. So I'm just gonna go around here and see if I can maybe find some better areas for quartz, but also just collect a bunch of quartz along the way until I get back up to probably level 33. And now that I'm back with 37 levels, I can finally enchant this pickaxe and get Unbreaking 3. I can also enchant an axe here and get Efficiency 4. And I'm also gonna go for my shovel, which gives me Unbreaking 3, and it's unfortunately just Unbreaking 3. Let's see what I can get on a sword. Give me Sharpness 3, and an axe will give me Efficiency, and a shovel will give me Efficiency. Okay, I will need some more levels, but for right now, I think I'm going to combine these and make an E5 Silk Touch Unbreaking 3. And now that I got the newly enchanted gear, I think it is actually time to start connecting some of the builds together with a path. Now, the first thing I want to do is start out here and sort of have a path that kind of loops around a little bit this way. And then my goal is to sort of have the path go all the way around. And, oh, okay, we got these guys. Excuse me, you're not allowed to be here. Nope, you're out of here. But as I was saying, the path is going to extend all the way this way, and it's going to be leading right to here, which eventually I will be making a big dock and probably a boat out in the water as well. But I also want the path to go this way and sort of lead in between the farms, and then also go this way towards where my mine entrance will be. And then we could also have a path kind of go through this area as well, and then it can connect all the way to here. And that is the rough outline, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish it up, and hopefully it'll look pretty good. And wow, just with the paths in, everything looks so much more connected, and it makes it look like it's one cohesive thing and not just a bunch of random farms and a house on an island. With this being done, I think it is time to tackle my next project, and my next project is going to be turning this into a mine entrance with some minecart rails going all the way down. So I got everything in here, at least to help get it started. My idea here is to kind of have it be like an open mine entrance with a giant rock, and then I want to have a mixture of stone and cobblestone to form the rock around the entrance. And first things first, I want to focus on a basic shape. Once I end up getting that down, then the rest of it should fall into place pretty easily. So I think a shape like this will work, but I'm gonna go ahead and get myself some more cobblestone and stone, and then finish off the outside in a time lapse. And And there we go. The outside is now complete. And overall, I am liking the look at this rock. I tried to make it a little bit off center, and I think it actually turned out pretty good in that regard. Now it's just focusing on the inside area and making sure I have a minecart track that goes all the way down. And for the floor, I was thinking of having a mixture of stone, polished andesite, and some regular andesite, while also having some stairs that sort of go around to act like little irrigation channels. So I think having 3 different sort of channels of water would be good for this area. Now it's basically just filling in the rest of it with a variation of the andesite and stone. And overall, I am liking the look of the floor. It looks like it was sort of made and then it's been worn down over the years. And now I just got to add the water in here. And then also out front, maybe I could have some fences going across like that, and maybe a fence gate in the middle. And then I can maybe have 2 fences going up. And oh my god, where did all these mobs come from? Why is there 2 creepers up here? Okay, that is... these guys just popped up out of nowhere. There's another creeper in here. Okay, I gotta get some lights in here ASAP. Now that I got a lantern in place, I want to focus on the interior. And I'm thinking right here would be a great spot for a wooden table. And then maybe in the corners, I could add like a crafting table. And then maybe a couple furnaces as well. And then on the table, I can maybe put an anvil right in the middle. Or actually, I'm gonna throw the anvil to the side and then throw a chest in the middle. And we got more of these guys. Are you kidding? Like, what is with you guys? Like, please just leave me alone. All right, I don't want to deal with you guys right now. And now I can start to add in the powered rails. I think 36 powered rails should be good enough. I think if I go by 3s, it should be powerful enough to bring me up and down. Now, unfortunately, I am out of rails. I don't know if I have any iron left either, so I might have to go for a small little mining trip to go and get myself some iron. So I hope 30 iron will be enough, but I also did find some other ores while I was down there, and I thought it would actually be perfect to sort of put these ores in some of the corners and maybe hanging up as well, just to show that this area is being used as a mine. Yeah, honestly, I think I really do like that. I think it just adds a little bit of color and a little bit of pop to the mine as well, especially when you're walking up to it. Now, I am hoping that 32 rails should be good enough to finish the rest of this. Now, I just threw this together here and I want to test if it will bring me all the way up. And I forgot to light these. Okay, that's unfortunate. Now let's test if it will bring me all the way up. And yes, it looks like it is working. The only trouble spot I have here is this loop. And I want to see if it's good enough. Yes, it definitely is. And it sent me all the way back up to the top very easily. And then riding it all the way back down should be very simple. Now, I'm going to leave it where it is for now. I was thinking of extending it all the way down there. So maybe if I have time near the end of this 100 days, I'll extend it. But for now, I'm really liking how this mine has turned out. And now on to the next thing, which is basically replicating the chicken coop over here just one more time to put the lone sheep in, because I have no idea where this sheep went and I want to keep it safe because I might have to use its wool for a future project. And there we go. There is the outline and the fences are in place. And now I just got to add the trapdoors. All right, Mr. Sheep, we are going to bring you over to your new home. And I will also extend the path out a little bit. And I also forgot to do that on this side for the chickens. And now that that is done, I want to go over to this area over here. And my idea is to add a little tower or lighthouse thing in this corner. And then maybe attach a happy ghast to the top of it, because I am in 1.21.8. I think the first thing I'm going to go ahead and get is the happy ghast, because I'm not sure how long it would actually take for it to grow. The only problem is I need to find myself a soul sand valley, I'm pretty sure, in order to get the happy ghast. So off I go to go ahead and find one of those biomes. I finally found one of the ghast things. I think I can just pick it up like that. Yes, I can. But I'm going to keep exploring because I want to find myself a couple more. Here's a second one, and I see a third one down there, as well as another fortress. So while I'm here, I might as well go and explore it and see what I can find. In this first chest, we got a saddle, as well as some horse armor and some gold. And in the second chest, we got some more saddles. Third chest, we got gold and more saddles. Now that I got the 3 dried ghasts, I think I can just plop them in the water like so, and then they'll be able to grow up, and I should be able to make myself a harness for these guys. But while I wait for them to grow, I think it's about time to get started on the tower. So I got everything I'm going to need in this chest, so I think it's about time to get started. Now that the framing of the tower is complete and we got a couple of friends here roaming the island, I think it is now time to focus on some of the other details. And first things first, I'm gonna go around the outside here and just add a couple of stone pillars and also add some glass panes to the outside. And now on the inside, I am thinking of making the floor a bunch of polished tuff and then doing a trick with some trapdoors. I'm also using a birch trapdoor to separate the floors. And then I was also thinking of adding myself some glowstone and then some glass surrounding it. And then finally on the outside, adding a chain and a lantern to each corner. And there we go. The lighthouse is now complete. And one of the final things I have to do though is to extend the path all the way down to here. And then once these guys grow up, I'll be able to just attach them to the very top. And speaking of the very top, I forgot to add a lightning rod to it. There we go. Now the tower is fully complete. And there we go. Just in case any lightning strikes, it will strike the tower. And one of the guys just grew. Okay, great. So we got a giant happy ghast now. And I just have to figure out how to make a harness. So it turns out I need glass, leather, and a piece of wool. And I'm going to make a blue harness, a red harness, and a yellow harness for all the 3 happy ghasts. And now I just gotta bring these guys over somehow. I mean, maybe I can just do this. Yes, there we go. Okay, we got one. Now, I don't think I have any leads, so that's the next thing. But at least I have one, which means I can fly over to the second one and then put the blue harness on this guy, and then I'll wait for the third one to grow up. I saw him somewhere. Oh, he's right there. And there we go. You are blue. It turns out I do have enough string for some leads. So if this guy will please come closer to me. Please, please come towards me. I don't have snowballs to lead you. Please. Oh, wait. This guy's near the ground. Hold on. This is just going to be a little bit scuffed because I can't get snowballs. So I just kind of have to jump for him. Okay, there we go. And now I can go and grab this guy over here with the lead. If he will stop running for me. There we go. I can attach him with the lead. I'm going to bring him over here. He's going to be the guy that is going to be at the top of the tower. And there we go. Both of them are now attached to the top of the tower. They can have fun up here. Oh, look at these guys. They look so cool up there. Just like little blimps almost. Now that all the happy ghasts are roaming and having a great time, I think it is now time to go back to the enchant table and enchant myself some more tools. And the first thing I'm going to start off with is a pickaxe. That will just give me efficiency 4. That kind of sucks. Next, I want to see what I can get on a sword. It does have sweeping edge 3. Hopefully it has sharpness, and it's just sweeping edge 3. Okay, apparently my luck is just terrible. Real quick though, I am going to combine these two, and I think I'm going to go back down to the zombie spawner and turn it into a grinder and just grind XP for the next couple of days. Now, I was originally going to go down into the mine in order to access the spawner, but I think it would actually be a lot cooler if I just made an underwater entrance and then used a bunch of ladders just to make my way all the way back up. So I think I should be right on top of it right here. So I'm just going to quickly add some ladders and dig all the way down. All right, now that I'm here at the zombie spawner, I can finally turn this thing off normally with some regular torches, and now just start the process of turning this into an actual grinder. Now, I'm sure you've seen this process be done a billion times over, so I'm just going to skip to when this thing is complete and I'm smacking a bunch of zombies. So as you can see, the zombie grinder is now working. So I'm just gonna sit here for as many days as it takes to get enough levels to enchant a full set of diamond armor and probably some diamond tools as well. So I'm back after grinding a bunch of levels, and I noticed that I'm somehow missing one of my happy ghasts. I honestly have no idea where this guy went. Like, I mean, I'm scanning the ocean here and I don't see anything. I have no idea where it went. Maybe it's suffocated or something. Like, I don't know. This one's okay, but maybe the blue one did end up suffocating, or maybe it got struck by lightning. I know there was a thunderstorm when I was finding some XP, so maybe it got killed by lightning. I have no idea. Or maybe it's just a bug in the game. I don't know, but that is very odd. But anyways, with 53 levels, I think I should be good to enchant all of my gear. And first things first, I want to go with a shovel to get efficiency 4. And next up here, I'm going to go with an axe, which has silk touch. Hopefully it has unbreaking with it, and it's just silk touch. That's unfortunate. For a piece of armor, we got thorns 2, unbreaking 3, prot 4, and unbreaking 3. I'm going to go for the prot 4 leggings to start off, and it's prot 4, unbreaking 3. And then going for this this pickaxe here is efficiency 4. I'm gonna go for it, hoping it gives me unbreaking, and it's just efficiency. My luck today really does not seem to be that good, but let's see if we can get on a sword here. Okay, sharpness 3, I'm just gonna go for it. The chest plate here is showing unbreaking. Please give me protection with it. Yes, okay, prod 4 unbreaking 3. And for the boots, it's unbreaking. For the helmet, it's aqua affinity. I mean, I'm gonna go for aqua affinity and blast protection. Okay, that's not great. And for boots, you got unbreaking, and it's depth strider 3, but unfortunately fire protection. And now with all of those, I think I can combine some of these together. But now that I'm fully geared up, I think it is about time to go and tackle the trial chamber that is down below, because it will give me some goodies that I could use to decorate my base. All right, let's pop in here and get started. Up getting a mending book. I wonder how rare that is, because that actually seems to be pretty good. I probably will end up putting that on one of my pickaxes, but hopefully I can get some more mending books, because that would be really good to have mending on everything. Oh, we got a feather falling 4 book out of this one. Okay, that's amazing. I'll put that on my boots at some point. Alright, so this is everything that I got from the trial chamber, and honestly it was a pretty good amount of loot, especially these 2 enchanted books. So now what I'm going to do is basically just dig a hole out of here and return back to my base. I think first things first, I'm putting some feather falling on my boots, and since this pickaxe over here does not have unbreaking, I think I'm going to add the mending book to that. Now looking at this area right here, it is very open, and I was contemplating what I wanted to do with it. Now I think what I'm going to do is just basically copy this farm over here in a little bit of a smaller scale. What I'm going to do is get rid of this top layer of dirt right here and then fill this layer up to sort of cover the ravine down here. But covering up the ravine just allows me to have a little bit more farmland over here. So now that all of that is filled in, I can basically just start making an outline like I did for the other farm. And now that all the walls are in place, all that's left is filling in the farmland. And there is the second field filled in, and this area is starting to look a lot more complete with that filled in. But there is also one thing that this farm is missing, and that is a well to get some fresh water. So I'm thinking right beside my house in this area here would be a great spot for a well. So for the well here, I'm thinking of maybe having something where we have some corners, just sort of like so, and then maybe some stairs, another set of stairs here, and then at the back, and then one more at the side. Actually, Actually, I think I want to extend this one more out, because the idea I have is that there's going to be like a little like roof over the shed, and I want it to sort of stick out on either end. So it'll kind of be something like this. Actually, I'm gonna make it one block higher. So my goal is to kind of have it be like this, and then underneath here is where we can have like the infinite water sources. And then maybe for the roof, I can start off with some slabs that go across, and then maybe to some stairs, and then maybe some stairs over here, and then do the same thing with the slabs on the other side, and then maybe some stairs like this, and then I can bring around the slabs across on this side, and then maybe on this side, and I'll see how it looks. It looks a little bit too wide. I'm actually gonna get rid of this here. Yeah, I think that looks a lot better. And then to cap it all off, we can just put some slabs up top, and I can maybe add a stone button to either side of this. Then we could add some candles as just a little bit of ambiance, and I could also throw some decorated pots on the side like they're going to be full of water. And then I could add a cauldron here, a chain, and then maybe a grindstone here. Yeah, honestly, I don't mind that. I'll just keep it the way it is. And really quick, I'll turn the dirt into mud, because it makes it look like it has a little bit more depth. I think it actually looks pretty good, except I'm gonna put the roof down one more block. Yeah, I think that looks a little bit better. So now the next thing I want to do is actually replace the tower of glowstone here with some copper bulbs. Oh yeah, that definitely looks so much better than the glowstone. Now the next major thing I want to tackle is this area over here. As you can see, there is pretty much nothing except some sugarcane, and I'm going to turn this area into a fishing dock, complete with an entire fishing house, probably on this side. Now unfortunately, from this point on, part of the video was completely corrupted, where you can hear my voice, but the screen is frozen. So yeah, unfortunately, all of the building stuff for the dock and all of that is completely gone, but at least I'm still able to show it off. And first things first is the fishing hut. It is a very simple fishing hut, nothing too fancy. On the inside, when you walk in, you got a cauldron, an item frame holding the fishing rod, and then you have a cooker or a table or something holding a bunch of raw fish. And if we walk out on the deck here, you can see it is held up by some wooden pillars and a deep slate slab. And on the underside, I added some lanterns. There's also some trap doors around the outside as support, and I also realized that I did not add the wood going all the way to the bottom, so I'm gonna have to do that real quick. All right, there we go. Now it's complete. And then moving over here, I added two different docks. This one, it goes down a little bit, and it's the same design that I used for that dock over there, just a little bit shorter. And then I also added this staircase going down, so if I was to bring up a boat or I wanted to just sort of swim and climb up, I can do so. And again, I added lanterns underneath, and wood goes all the way down to the bottom. Now, unfortunately, these two docks are really close together, so these two pillars are touching, but I decided just to leave it as it is. Now, moving on to the third dock, it's nothing fancy like the first and the second one, basically the exact same design. And this one's mainly for if a bigger ship comes by dropping off stuff, people will be able to disembark and board very easily. And then moving over here, I added a tiny little railing. I'm going to add a bunch of these around the base, and it basically just adds a little bit of detail to some of the areas where I'm not going to be building things, or some of the areas that just sort of jut out. And then for the farm, I added some fence posts and lanterns to make sure everything is lit up. And for the well, I added some upside down cobblestone stairs for some more decoration, and decided to flip the pots around and sort of change the angles of them so that I can see the design on some of the pots. And now that the tour is complete, I realized that I still didn't add a planter over here, and I'm also somehow missing a leaf. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head this way and hopefully find myself a shipwreck that has some spruce wood so I can finish this off. And I also need spruce wood for this area here, because I want to turn this hole that leads down into this water ravine into some sort of like storm shelter entrance. Because, you know, on an island, you'd probably be getting battered by some storms and hurricanes and things like that. So you need a storm shelter to go into to keep yourself safe. So I'm just gonna head this way until I find a couple shipwrecks that hopefully have some spruce wood for me. After sailing into the night, I found my first shipwreck, and it was a spruce shipwreck, so I grabbed as much spruce wood as I could, just in case there wasn't any other spruce shipwrecks in the rest of the ocean. A day later, I did find another spruce shipwreck, so again, I grabbed everything from it, and continued searching the rest of the ocean before returning home. So I am back from my watery expedition with a decent amount of spruce wood, and now I can finally finish off my house. There we go. And now moving on to this area right here. First things first, I think I'm going to extend it out about 2 blocks in this direction. Now I'm thinking I'm going to add maybe 3 trapdoors on this side and then 3 trapdoors on this side. So when I open them, it kind of goes downwards and it looks like it's sort of a cellar door. And then maybe around it, I could add some spruce slabs to sort of have an outline. And then maybe on the inside, I could have spruce stairs going down. And then down here, I'm thinking of turning it into some area with a bunch of storage and maybe like a bedroom and like a crafting area. So first things first, I want to fill in a little bit of the water with some stone. And now that this is cleared out, I can now focus on this area here, just sort of filling in the wall so that it separates this random cave from the rest of the ravine. There'll be a ladder going down right here, and this back room can maybe hold like a bed and some storage. I could also add some decorated pots around just to add a little bit more detail to the walls on this side. And I also want to turn part of the cave into some sort of big like geo type thing, so adding little spots of like calcite and amethyst, and then maybe some of the smooth basalt. So basically something like this, just in different splotches around this ravine. And then I also want to get some amethyst and then have that sort of be on the side of some of the amethyst blocks here. And look at how much better this ravine looks now. The only thing is that I can't get rid of these water streams because my farm needs them and it's right above it. So these are going to have to stay here. And real quick, I'm just going to add some barrels into the corners here, and I might as well add a couple more chests, and there we go. This whole area should be good except for a bed, which I want to put in the middle. And actually, real quick, I forgot about this entire entrance because right now it does not look that great. So I'm thinking of doing something pretty simple. Basically, it's just a bunch of stone bricks, and then on the inside here I can have some fences going across, and the fences sort of act like a gate that's partway open. And there we go, it is now complete. And I should be able to get through here without suffocating. Yes, okay, wonderful. I also want to add a couple of candles on the ground as well, just sort of sitting around here. And yeah, there we go. It's not really anything super fancy. It's just a storm cellar with some storage and an alternate way to get into the island. And I can also extend the path out a little bit this way. And now the last major project that I am going to do for this 100 days is going to be a boat out in the water, probably around this area here. My boat is now complete. Now I tried building this completely on my own, and I don't think it turned out terrible because building boats is not one of my strong suits in this game. So I decided, you know what? The only way to get better at it is to just build my own stuff. And I didn't really have a lot of wool, so I decided to use diorite walls instead, and I think that actually turned out okay. But now with just a couple days left, I want to focus on the little details of the island. Things like adding some more of these little walls here, and also putting some trapdoors on these fences, which I completely forgot about. But before I do any of that, the first thing I want to do is extend this pathway out a little bit, because my goal is to make it go to the nether portal that is all the way down there. And on this side, I think it would be cool to maybe have a staircase going all the way up and connecting to the back, and then having like a mini path weaving through here. So basically just something like this where I can go all the way up. And now from up here, I want to add a little 1 block wide path that sort of just connects through a little bit. So if I was walking in between the trees, there is a path for me to take. So wherever I want to go, there's always a path that will take me to any different place of the island, which really just helps make the place feel a lot more connected. Also, with some of these exposed stone, I want to just fill these in with a bit of dirt, just so that from above it looks a lot better. And look, I'm thinking up over here, I could add one of those walls that I was talking about, and then I could also add one up here, and one over in this area as well would be great, and another one right beside it would also look amazing. Honestly, I really like these barriers. Just having a couple of them around, I think, really adds to the place, and it kind of creates creates little points of interest for the island as well. And now the last thing that I think is going to take me a little while is adding in some details. Now the last thing that's probably going to take me a little while is adding in all the fine details, being like the leaves and bone mealing the grass and adding in different types of flowers. And once I'm done with all of that, that should be the 100 days complete. Rise and shine on day 100. Now for day 100, I'm gonna go and tour everything that I added to the island. So we're gonna start off with back here. As you can see, I added a bunch of bushes and grass and flowers around, as well as a bunch of leaf litter, and also did the trick of putting torches underneath some moss carpet to add some lighting. I also had like 40 of these pots laying around, so I was like, you know what, let me put a bunch of these back here just to add a little bit of decoration. Then you got these paths snaking through, going everywhere. Honestly, I really like what I did with the area of trees back here, because the paths and the pots just make it sort of seem a bit cozy down here. I also added a lot of grass near the fishing dock, because you would think fishing docks would have a lot of tall grass and a lot of shrubbery around it. And I also added a lot of the firefly bushes as well. Now moving over in this area, again, just adding a bunch of bone meal to the outside and some more firefly bushes, as well as some more pots right in front of the cellar entrance, or the storm shelter entrance. And I also put some leftover pots on the side of the tower and on the inside. But overall, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Please be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye bye, and have a great day.